Hi, everybody. So I'm going to tell you about half of the things that have happened that have been so wonderful because I don't have time to tell you everything. So on day 18, quite suddenly, my short-term memory got dramatically better. And I know because I was signing people up and I was able to remember their information as I went from screen to screen. So that was amazing. And and on that same day, I had an episode of something that I've had over the years, like maybe for 3 or 4 or 5 years. Yeah, actually 5 years. That's so painful that it's the kind of thing where should we call the ambulance now, and I'd break out in sweat and I'm throwing up and they were so terrible. Anyway, I hadn't had one in a while. And I overdid it because I was feeling so good from the patch that I wasn't pacing myself. And so I had another one of those episodes. And I suddenly thought ice wave, which I had never used before. And so I took the ice wave without even knowing how to use it. And I took it without even taking the backing off, without even sticking it on me. I just held it, both of them on with my hand. And within 15 minutes, that pain that was so terrible had 100% disappeared. It had just disappeared. And that just blew me away. So many fabulous things have happened. At 4 weeks, I started the carnosine patch, adding it on. You get kind of addicted once you start to have these great results. And so I added that on. And so it took 2 or 3 weeks. And then my 3 months of terrible diarrhea was completely gone within 3 weeks. And I had tried everything for that. Nothing was touching it. That's really good. And then at 5 weeks, so I walk with a walker when I'm outside. And when I started, I had to use it inside too, where it came. But anyway, now I walk with it when I'm outside. And all of a sudden, at the 5-week point, I began walking with speed. It's like, what just happened? Like I didn't plan it or anything. My body just started doing it. And so that
what
happened.
What does that mean with speed? How are you walking before?
Well, I walk carefully and slowly, that people who are walking with me, they have to take a step and then they're, taking another step. And yeah. So I was just whipping along. For me, I was just whipping along, definitely at a speed that would be normal for somebody else, which to me was like a racetrack. So that was very, very exciting. It's happened a couple of times, so it's in progress. And I know that I'm going to be walking like that pretty soon every time. So I'm excited about that. And I just finished my 7th week, and I suddenly one day realized that, and I didn't mention this before, but about 3 months before I started the patch, I started getting this sharp little tingling in my toes, especially my big toe on my right foot, and it spread out sometimes to other toes. And that I suddenly realized just yesterday that's like gone. I haven't had that in a couple of weeks, and so that is very exciting because that was scary. Like I didn't know what that meant. That was scary. So that's gone. I've had urinary incontinence for years, and that is almost completely gone. It's dramatically better. So, and I think that's both the X39 I started to notice was helping with that, and I think also the carnosine, because my Kegels are great. They're so strong. So I credit the carnosine with that. And then a couple other things. When I lie on my back in bed, I can lie with my knee completely straight, and I don't have to like keep flexing it to make sure it doesn't lock up. It's just fine. So that's great. My balance has gotten way better. If I'm walking in the house and I can see, at night I still need the walker, but during the day I don't need the walker at all. My balance is good. I've done things like actually step over a threshold instead of clinging to the door frame desperately, things like that. And a big thing is If I'm sitting in my chair in the kitchen where I spend a lot of time, and I get cold, I used to have to just sit there and freeze, waiting until somebody else would come by to ask them to get me a sweater. But now it's like no problem. I just get up and I go and I get my sweater. I'm like, whoa, I could do that. I'm thirsty, I can go get some water. I mean, I can do these amazing things that you all take for granted. Very exciting. My sleep is deeper and my nails have gotten hard as nails.